This channel has a weird history with the word anniversary, because depending on how you look at it, this channel can have 3 anniversaries. So yeah, this channel and anniversaries is weird. But the point is, I've been trying to do YouTube for a good while now. Even if I haven't always been good at it or been successful, I have tried. And in my time of trying, I have definitely failed a lot. Which is to be expected. I think it's a commonly known fact at this point that YouTube is kinda hard. Not that uploading videos to the site itself is hard, that's actually pretty easy. But just because you hit upload a couple times doesn't mean anyone's ever going to watch it, or if it's ever really going to be good. If it was just as easy as uploading a video, then everyone would do it. And everyone would probably have a MrBeast level channel. And obviously, that's not true. YouTube is a process. Everybody who wants to try and have a YouTube channel is going to have a huge list of yeses and nos and do's and don'ts. And sure, you can look at tutorials, but there's only so much that Rob from vidIQ can teach you before you have to get your hands dirty. You can research all you want, but hearing about the algorithm and dealing with the algorithm are 2 entirely different things. Trust me.
Why should we listen to you? You're irrelevant, bum.
Okay, look, I'm not saying that you have to listen to me, in fact you probably shouldn't. This is just my personal experiences. After all, the mindset of someone who does, say, cooking videos is going to be very different from someone who makes storytime animations about games and stuff. So basically, take everything here with a grain of salt. After all, I'm a dumbass, which could be the worst advice on the planet. Probably is. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is having a consistent thread. What I mean by this is basically try and make sure that all your videos have something in common to make sure that they all feel generally like they belong together. Currently, it's storytime animation for me, which means, hopefully, regardless of how much I bounce around in terms of topic, all the videos should generally still feel like they fit under the same umbrella. Ironically, this is the tip that I had the most trouble with on my first run through YouTube, which is really stupid because it really should not have been. For example, can you tell me what this and this have in common with each other? Or better yet, this and this? Kind of a hard question, right? That's because the answer is nothing. They nearly have nothing in common with each other. Of course, the speedruns do fit in with the speedruns, and the Bully Maguire videos fit in with the Bully Maguire videos, but that's not the point. The point is that it's incredibly jarring because they don't belong together. Think about it this way. If YouTube is about building an audience that likes and supports what you do, how are they supposed to do that if they have no idea what you're doing? This actually leads into my next point. The audience is everything. Because remember, content is only 1/2 of what makes a YouTube channel. The other, at least to me, is the audience. An audience's support or lack of support can make or break a channel most of the time. You may need the audience, but the audience doesn't necessarily need you. All the audience needs is entertainment, and there will almost always be 1,000
other channels, if not infinitely more,
all competing for your audience at the same time as you.
And that's just in your niche. Imagine how much competition is on the recommended tab where
Anything and anybody can be on there.
Do you get what I'm saying here? You have tons of competition out there, from everybody. So the fact that you get views at all should be appreciated. I'm not saying that you can't want more. I like more. Everyone likes more views. But at the same time, don't take what you got for granted. Because these are people who decide that out of anyone else that they could have been watching at that moment in time, decided to spend their time on your video. And that's not always a guarantee, you know? Let's go back to my first point for a sec. Because these 2 tips are actually tied together. A lot, actually. Let's assume a hypothetical here. Let's say that you run a comic book centered channel, and you decide to make it about your favorite comic book character, Batman. Which means your audience, obviously, is gonna be people who like Batman. Now let's say one day you go on a trip to Las Vegas, or something. And let's say on that trip you decide to vlog it, and you upload the vlog onto your channel, and that's all fine and good. But there's just one problem here. This video has nothing to do with Batman, but you're uploading it onto your channel, which is built around Batman and has an audience of people who like Batman. A large portion of your audience likely subscribed for Batman. So why would they watch your vlog? And the answer? Well, they wouldn't. Not really. Your established audience currently has no reason to be interested or watch this video at all, so they probably won't. Which means in the end, all this video is really doing is alienating your audience. And after a long enough time of not giving them what they want, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna leave and go watch someone else who is. YouTube is basically like a business. You give people the type of videos that they want, and they give you their support in return. And true, it is a simplified metaphor, but it's still basically what it is. I mean, just think about it. Subscriptions, subscribing, subscribers, not unlike a newspaper or magazine or something. When you sign up for a subscription, what you're basically saying is, hey, I like this thing. Give me more of stuff like this, and in return, I will give you support, which in this case is money. And that's also exactly what you're doing whenever you subscribe to a channel on YouTube. When you subscribe to, say,
Hey yo, it's Sharky.
what you're saying is that you like her content enough that you want more of it regularly. And so, you're likely going to watch more of her videos and content, which ends up giving her more support. Almost exactly like our previous example. Now, I know what you might be thinking.
So that's great and all, but you've kinda just been saying the same few tips over and over again, but slightly differently. Have any new tips?
And to that, I do, actually. So let's get into everyone's favorite topic as a YouTuber, dealing with hate and criticism. Can you tell I'm being sarcastic? First off though, I do have to clarify that hate is not specifically criticism, and criticism is not specifically hate. Of course, there are a few exceptions, like destructive criticism, which is a form of hate, but again, that's an exception, not the rule. So for all intents and purposes, just assume that I mean constructive criticism whenever I say criticism, unless I state otherwise. We good? Good. Moving on. This isn't foolproof, but my personal criteria for criticism is when someone points out something specific that could be improved in your work or something, and it's also actionable and reasonable. Though it sounds kinda complicated when I just say that, so let me give you some actual examples. I'm gonna give you 4 statements, and I want you to guess which ones are criticism and which ones are not. Here's statement 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead, pause, take your pick, and then come back and see if you have the right answer. You ready? Statement 1 is not criticism, because even if they do specify something that could be improved, which is the animation, it's still far too vague to actually be actionable or reasonable. What exactly about the animation sucks? Is my line art terrible? Are my colors dull and bland? Am I over-designed? What's going on? So unless that's specified, you can't actually act on this criticism, so you can throw out the reasonable argument entirely. Statement 2, on the other hand, is criticism. Because on one hand, it points out something specific that could be improved, which is the storytelling. It's actionable because there are steps you can take to improve it in the future, and it's reasonable because storytelling and narration is an important part of being a YouTuber. Number 3 is once again criticism, because it points out something specific, this time being audio quality, and it is actionable because there are things you can do to improve your audio quality in the future, and it's reasonable because audio is an important part of being a YouTuber, again. Number 4 was very clearly not constructive criticism. I don't think I really have to talk about this one. This one was just sort of a freebie. So why am I telling you this? Because constructive criticism is really important. They're basically feedback from your audience. You know, the people who I already established are really important to the success of a YouTube channel. You're making content for them, for their entertainment after all, so why would you not want to hear them out? At least consider it. So all in all, be consistent with your content, respect and appreciate your audience, and be open to criticism. Like I said at the start, these things don't guarantee success. You don't have to listen to me, but keep these in mind at least. So what do you think? Do you have any tips you agree or disagree with? Do you have any tips that you have that I didn't think of? Let me know. For now though, see you when night falls.